can't even see who it is. Yeah. Who is the dude? Who is the dude?
Lamont Roach might be stepping into a storm, and fans can already see the dark clouds forming. This isn't just about facing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a fighter notorious for his devastating knockouts and raw power. It's about the relentless work Davis is putting in before fight night. His training regimen is turning heads, and at this point, many believe the outcome is already decided.
I promise you, I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother. Now watch.
Roach may think he's ready, but he might want to reconsider. Davis' preparation is on another level. A recent training video of him has been making waves online, leaving fans both in awe and worried for his opponents.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a night?
In the footage, Davis is seen performing what can only be described as an unorthodox yet brutally effective core workout. This comes shortly after another viral clip where Davis is shown tossing around a medicine ball with 2 other people. At first glance, it might not seem too extraordinary, but a closer look reveals that this isn't just any routine drill.
Running, start running probably like, it's different times. I might don't feel like running in the morning. I might run at night, you know. It all depends what fits you.
While most fighters use a medicine ball by slamming it against a wall to build core strength, Davis has taken it up a notch. His version is faster, more intense, and clearly designed to push his power and durability to terrifying new heights.
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. 1, Gervonta "Tank" Davis was being ducked leading up to this. Shakur Stevens.
The concept behind the drill is straightforward. A strong core isn't just for aesthetics, it's essential for absorbing punches, especially brutal body shots. And if there's one thing Gervonta Davis understands, it's the devastating impact of a well-placed body shot. He's ended fights with them, leaving opponents gasping for air.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when 2.
The fact that he's using such advanced techniques to toughen himself against the very punches he dishes out proves just how far ahead he is in the mental game of boxing. Davis isn't just training to endure in the ring, he's training to dominate. Fans couldn't help but react to the footage.
That Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is. It goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with them or not. That matters. When you know it.
One commenter said, "Don't even know what he's training for," but the results speak for themselves. Another joked that Medicine Ball might be the toughest opponent he's faced. The responses were a mix of humor and admiration, but one thing was undeniable: Gervonta Davis's training is on a completely different level.
I don't know Lamont Roach, but you know, when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at, you know, these other fights that he should really be fighting, you know, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire. Yeah. So don't come and but don't come and come at me and go, oh yeah, let's give it all, you know, very big bollocks, and go, oh yeah, let's give him some.
A Gervonta Davis fan summed it up perfectly, saying his training explains his explosive power, and they're absolutely right. That kind of explosiveness, the same force that has knocked out 28 of his 30 opponents, isn't just natural talent, it's the result of relentless, calculated, and intense training. Watching these videos, it's clear why Davis has earned his reputation. His obsessive focus on every detail of his preparation makes him a puzzle almost impossible to solve. You can try to dodge his punches, outthink him, or even outlast him, but his training ensures he's ready for every possible scenario.
Match close people, so get ready for 2 fights. But yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight.
If you're Lamont Roach watching that clip, one question has to cross your mind: how do you even prepare for someone like Gervonta Davis? The answer might be that you simply can't. Of course, not everyone is convinced by Gervonta Davis's dominance. Boxing commentator Tim Bradley recently took a jab at Davis, criticizing his choice of opponents and calling it protective custody. According to Bradley,
for everybody to be talking shit to Gervonta, it don't be coming out good for them, my nigga. I'm just keeping it real.
He obviously a superstar, but just because it's who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win. I've been coming to win.
Davis's team has been careful to steer him away from truly dangerous fighters, avoiding matchups with the likes of Shakur Stevenson and other top-tier names who could pose a real challenge. Bradley's argument isn't new. Critics have long questioned whether Davis's record is as impressive as it appears, given the level of competition he's faced. While his knockout power is undeniable, some believe the real test lies in whether he'll take on the biggest threats in the division.
Man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say, I want all the guys.
Lamont Roach might think he's ready, but stepping into the ring with Gervonta "Tank" Davis is like walking straight into a hurricane. The storm isn't just about Davis's devastating knockout power or his reputation as one of boxing's most feared fighters. It's the grueling work he puts in before fight night that makes him a nightmare opponent. Recent training footage has sent shockwaves through the boxing community, showing just how relentless Davis' preparation is. Fans are already convinced of the outcome, and if Roach has any doubts, watching these clips might just make him reconsider.
What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis-Roach fight?
I think that, it's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability, but he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but...
Davis' training regimen is different. It's brutal, unorthodox, and designed to push him beyond the limits of an ordinary fighter. A recent viral video showcased Davis performing an unusual yet highly effective core workout, and fans couldn't help but take notice. In the footage, Davis can be seen tossing around a medicine ball with 2 other people.
In May, though?
Yes, in May. We're going to be fighting there. So it'll be good, man. Just another big fight. So I'm ready to do it. I mean, Pitbull's is still a great fighter. He may have lost one time, but, fans love him. He's a big...
At first glance, it might seem like a routine drill, but anyone who understands boxing knows this is far from ordinary. Most fighters use a medicine ball by slamming it against a wall to strengthen their core, but Davis takes it to another level. His version is faster, more intense, and engineered to build resilience against body shots, one of the deadliest weapons in his arsenal.
It's gonna be a party
and
on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's his name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on his hand. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say his cat? And you gonna say his cat? Why?
It's no secret that Davis has ended fights with vicious body punches, leaving opponents gasping for air. That's what makes his training so terrifying. He's not just preparing to deliver punishment, he's conditioning himself to withstand it. The philosophy behind this kind of training is simple. A strong core isn't just for show, it's the foundation of a fighter's endurance and power. Davis knows better than anyone how much damage a perfectly placed body shot can do, and the fact that he's reinforcing his body to absorb such strikes proves just how far ahead he is in the mental game of boxing. He's not just training to last in the ring, he's training to dominate. Fans couldn't help but react to the footage, and the comments reflected a mix of admiration and concern. One fan summed it up best. "I don't even know what he's training for, but the results speak for themselves." Another joked, "That medicine ball might be the toughest opponent he's faced." While the reactions were lighthearted, one thing was undeniable. Gervonta Davis's training is on an entirely different level. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Boxing commentator Tim Bradley has been one of Davis's most vocal critics, recently taking shots at his choice of opponents. Bradley went as far as calling it protective custody, arguing that Davis's team has carefully steered him away from truly dangerous fighters. According to Bradley, Davis has been kept away from elite names like Shakur Stevenson and other top contenders who could genuinely test his skills. Bradley's criticism isn't new. Many have questioned whether Davis' record is as impressive as it looks, considering the matchups he's taken. While his knockouts are highlight reel material, some argue that he has yet to face the kind of opposition that would cement his legacy. In fairness, the last time Davis faced a truly elite opponent without weight stipulations or other conditions was years ago against Joseph Pedraza. Since then, his fights have been spectacular but, in Bradley's eyes, predictable in their outcomes. Fans, he believes, are starting to recognize the pattern, wondering when Davis will finally step up against the best in the division. But here's the thing about Gervonta Davis: no matter who he fights, his preparation gives him an edge that's impossible to ignore. Critics can debate his opponents all day long, but they can't deny the sheer intensity of his training. Watching him go through grueling drills, it's clear that he isn't taking any shortcuts. Even if his opponents are handpicked, the work he puts in to ensure victory is unmatched. That work ethic is what separates him from the rest. His training isn't just about physical conditioning,